Hey, good morning, everyone, or afternoon, or evening, wherever you're joining this webinar from. My name is Nandan Keethi. I'm one of the co-founders of Classe365. Thank you so much for joining this webinar. So I'll be driving the webinar, and this webinar will probably go for about an hour or so. And if you are joining the webinar through a recorded webinar, so there's always option to fast track the webinar itself. Excellent, let's get started. So what I'll be doing today is I'm just going to give you a quick overview of Classe365. Since our journey in 2013, how we have grown to more than about 4,500 education institutions. And I'll spend a lot of time on the actual demo itself, showing the product, how it actually works. A little bit about Classe365. We are an Australian-based edtech company. So since we started in 2013, we have more than about 4,500 active education institutions in about 130 countries. We actually support about 103 languages as well. So if you are in any part of the world, most likely that we support your native languages as well. So at any point of time, we have more than about 3 million active students every day. Empowering education institutions of all types. We have education. We segment our customers into 4 types: academies, schools, K-12, higher education, and vocational colleges and universities. So we have institutions across all these 4 segments, from a 15-student ballet academy in New York up to almost 1 million students, a government department as well. So yeah, very scalable and a modular product. Quickly about what Classe365 does and what is the problem we are solving in the tech industry or the education industry. A common problem in education institutions are that they manage multiple software platforms to manage their administration as well as learning activities. What Classe365 does is we provide a unified platform which comprises of the student information system, a learning management system, and a customer relationship management. So instead of having multiple platforms, what we do is customers use our platform to have everything in one platform. So we have, as an example, we have a customer who mentioned to us that they had 23 different softwares or platforms they used, to right now only 3. So they consolidated all the administrative and learning functions into Classe365. Just quickly about our journey. So we started in 2013. A bunch of guys who we basically from some of the Fortune 500 companies, including Microsoft, Google, IBM, and some government departments as well. To where we are right now is we have more than about 4,500 education institutions in about 130 countries. We were ranked in the top 5 best student management platforms by Capterra, which is a Gartner company as well. So it's quite excited to get to where we are right now. So the solution overview, what I want to mention here is our solution comprises of pretty much everything, a student information system, a learning management system, and a CRM. So if I kind of break it down, imagine that this is kind of the student lifecycle management, or a roadmap. So the CRM element, when a student actually comes into your education institution, how he or she is enrolled. Once is enrolled, the student lifecycle management that includes the student information system, where the functionalities like your gradings, your attendance, your communication with parents and students and teachers. The learning management aspect, providing an online version of what teacher teaches, including the assessments and quizzes, everything kind of done online. If a higher education institution, the degree audit functionality, providing a roadmap of where a student is and what he or she needs to do to complete their degree. including fee management, fee and donation, financial accounting, and finally alumni as well, how you manage the alumni students. So not only that, we just released are going to be releasing a module called placements as well, especially if you're in higher education. So we have a placements module where we help graduates or education institutions to connect with the relevant jobs in the industry and in the region, in the local region as well. So I'll discuss more about that as well. So here are a few of our key customers globally, and we can always provide local references as well, and some information on some of our industry partners and integrations. So we integrate with quite a lot of external platforms, including if you have Google Apps, Office 365, we integrate with that, including a few other LMSs as well. We do have our own LMS, but also a lot of the times if the customer requires that we need to integrate into other LMSs, we have those options as well. So yeah, so let's get started. So this is a quick overview of Classe365. So I'm just gonna skip to another window to drive the demo. So once you sign up, so from classe365.com, so once you sign up, you can sign up from here. You will be asked to have provide a subdomain. Say yourschool.classe365.com. So that's the account you will be logging into. That's your normal account. So I'll tell you more about how you can mask that as well. So here, whatever you have actually provided as your account or a subdomain access URL, so just type in that one and you'll be able to access your own account. So this is just an example. So here, this is an evaluation account I'll be using to drive the demo. If you look at it here, it's an evaluate6.classe365.com. So whatever you've registered with, yourschool.classe365.com, that's your entry point for your administrators, teachers, students, and parents to log into the platform. So this is the login page. Right now, there's a background image playing. A background image. It can also be a video. You can have your own banners. You can have your own branding in the login page. There's option also to rewrite the URL. This can be studentportal.yourdomain.com. That is part of our white label add-on module, and also you can hide the Classe365 branding as well. So some of the other customers who are using, some of a good examples here is one of our customers in the UK. So they have put in a background video up here. So here is a customer in Canada. So how they have kind of using their branding, and also this is FC School Barcelona, FC Barcelona, which is one of the football academies, global football academies. They use our platform, so they also provided. They're also using a video as well. So you can use your own branding, right? So I'm just gonna log in as an administrator right now. So again, you can log in as an admin, teacher, student, and parent. So with the login, so there are a few login options. So if you're using Google Apps for Education or G Suite for Education or Office 365, we have single sign-on options where you can use your own Google account or Office 365 account to log in to the platform. So I'm just going to use just a normal login to log into an administrator account. So once I log in to the platform, I get into the dashboard page. The dashboard gives you pretty much a quick summary of everything about the institution. Here, you get information on how many students you have, how many teachers you have, any events or future events that are coming up, new applications. This is our pre-admissions module. This is a CRM module. So here you will be, if there's a new inquiry or new applications which is coming, it will actually show the numbers here. We do have SMS gateway integration as well. So we have, we have integration with SMSs. Depending on the subscription you have free SMSs available. Learning management system linked to it. Bulletin boards or notice board where you can push or have sticky notices on the dashboard for only students or teachers or everyone in the school. On the right hand side is the event. So this is your calendar event. So any kind of an event which happens on a calendar year. And also you have class schedules as well. So you can have different class schedules for different courses or subjects. This is exactly how the students see as well. So the students will be able to see, how is my day looking on, say, Thursday, and they get push notifications through a mobile app as well. So yeah, so here is information on the institution key statistics on the financial side. Here is a complete overview of what's the total fees paid, what's not paid, and you can drill down into different courses as well and see, okay, in this department, what's the paid amount, what's unpaid amount. So you can get an information on that. Here is different types of fees that's been created, and you can see what's paid, what's not paid here as well. This is what we call as directory and skill-based search. You can see the students, you can search on student by name or also by skills as well. You can tag students based on the skills, or even teachers can connect their LinkedIn account as well, and they can see, if they connect the LinkedIn account, you can see the skills recommendations option here as well. And same goes with alumni students. So yeah, this is one option to search students. So we also have another option to search, which is on the top navigation bar. So if I go into the search icon here, so here is an option where I can search by student name, or invoice numbers, or student numbers, whatever it may be. I can search by that. We also have very soon coming up what we call natural language search, where I can say total number of students who are enrolled, total number of international students who are from, say, Japan. You get a list of all the students. So you can search as a natural language, just like how you search on Google. So that's the navigation. A few more elements on the navigation side. So there's all the notices comes up here. There's options for settings. There's settings for your personal account and settings for the organization or the education institution here. And this is where you manage your subscription. So this is the modules up here. So this is where you spend or use a lot, where you have access to all our modules. Our modules are divided into academics, learning and communication, and administration. Under academics, you have everything to manage the education institution academics functionalities. And learning and communication is basically their communication with the students, as well as scheduling as well, and the administrative aspect. So I'm just going to go through every single module and explain the functionalities of it. So the very first thing you do once you subscribe to the platform is you need to set up your class or the courses. Now, without setting this one up, your course structure or the academic structure, you won't be able to do anything. So it's very important that you do this one first, which is you got to set up your academic structure. So what it is you can add a class. Now, the class section and department, these things, the actual terminologies can be changed. So if I go into settings for the institution, so there is an option on the terminology section where I can change the terminology. So for example, you may call class as course. You may call students as something else or parents as something else. So you can change the terminologies, everything up here. So to match what you actually use, the terminologies you use within your education institution. So the class is basically a course. Think of it as um, you know if it is in a K-12, it can be grade 1, 2, and 3. If it's in a higher education, it can be say masters in accounting as a course. Um, and you can add departments, and departments can be nested within classes can be nested within the department. So once I have the class set up, you can add sections. Sections are groups within the class. So it can be, for example, if it's higher education, it can be semester 1, semester 2. If it is academies, it can be a morning session or an evening session, or a March intake or a fall intake. If it is K-12, again, it can be either semesters or sections or groups within that grade. So once you added the section, you can add subjects. So just click on the list icon up here, and you can add subjects here as well. Now the subjects can be once you're adding the subject, can be a core or an elective, and you can add credit hours, subject code and everything. So one thing I want to mention about the core and elective is, if it is subject is being marked as an elective, so any students who are enrolled in any other class can enroll into the elective subjects. If it is a core subject, then only the students who are enrolled in this class and section can only take up this subject. So elective, if you mark this an elective, enables you to enroll students from other classes as well, and as well as you just have to allocate the students to those subjects. So this is the first thing you do. So once you've set this one up, you're basically ready to add students. Adding students is very easy. So you can go into modules and manage students. Here there's an option to add student. You can add students manually. There are basically three ways to add students. One is you can add it manually. Before you add, you might probably will be wondering, hey, I've got different requirements on how I want to capture the student details. There is option for that as well. So if I go into add edit fields, or the other way to access this is if I go to modules and manage student fields, here is where I can add students dynamically, add student fields dynamically. So if I want to capture more information, say example, I want to capture information on past school name or previous school name. So this is a text field, so I just added this. If I want to delete that, I can delete that as well. So basically drag and drop information, and you can select that. So there's a few options here. You can make this as a text field, or there's a few other options here as well. You can make this as a required or a mandatory field. You can make it published or unpublished, and also if this field will be visible to teacher as well, so you can do that. There's also with the admission number or the student number, this is a required field. You need this one. You need to add this to identify students uniquely. There's also options for auto-generating admission numbers as well. So you can have option for generating admission numbers automatically. So yeah, this is how you kind of add fields and edit fields. So once I'm ready, I can add students. Again, so this is one way of adding students. The other way is if I go into settings, and there is option for import export data. There is option for bulk import. So I can use use the option to import data, choose the file. It can be any Excel file, And once you've added that file, you will be asked to match the columns with the fields you have created, and you can do a bulk import. Recently, we did an import of quite a big school, almost about 6,000 students. We could import them everything within like a couple of hours. Yeah, so that's another way of adding students. The third way is through the pre-admissions module, where automatically the students are enrolled. Once you get a pre-admission application, you validate the application, and you can automatically enroll them from the pre-admission section. I'll discuss more about that. So we have a few other options here. So elective subject allocation. This is where you allocate elective subjects. So if a subject is being marked elective, you go into the course, and you can add students to the elective subject. So here all the elective subjects will be listed, and you can just add those elective subjects here. Right, so let me go into manage students and show you how the student profile looks. If I go in and search option and search all students without selecting, I get a list of all students here. And notice that for a few students, there is some alert icon showing up as well. So if I click on that, so there is an allergy alert for Rachel here. So you can push alerts based on many kind of metrics, and all those options are available from the settings section. So if I go into settings, there is options for pushing student alerts, where I can have alerts for I can have a payment alert. So payment alert is enabled here. I can also have payment alerts. Payment alerts can be colored alerts as well, whether you want to have things like if the payment is due between say $1,000 to $2,000, alert it in different colors, so you can easily identify whether if it is in red, you cannot reach out to them. And also there's a few other allergies alert. You can have custom alerts as well. And also here is an option to have absent alerts. So if a student is absent for more than say 5 days, you can set alerts for that. So yeah, so I'm just going to go into the student profile here. Before that, I'll quickly show Classe365 enables you to manage student ID cards. So this is where you can manage ID cards for students. There's options to select all students and print ID cards here. You can print report cards, you can print ID cards as well, or you can email everyone, you can do SMS blasts to everyone as well here. So let me go into the student profile and show you this is how the student profile looks. Pretty much all the information you have set up on the student profile shows up here. Which courses, which are the subjects she is enrolled in, what are the elective subjects, what are the core subjects, her attendance details. I can quickly look in the attendance here. Provides you like a quick overview of if there is multiple absences, you can see a trend and manage that. If there's any alerts, comments on the absence, so that shows up here. Say this is a comment and the student is late by 30 minutes, so it's actually showing that the teacher has marked, the instructor has marked a comment here as well. Report cards or transcripts shows up. Again, you can rename report cards as transcripts. Different institutions call it differently. This is a very basic report card, but you can always make it as advanced as possible. Health records information, especially if it's schools, you will have information on immunization history, any medical records, any routine checkups and incidents that's been done, that's happened shows up here. Medical notes, the nurse or anyone who's actually taken medical notes, they can put it up here as well. Yeah, so behavior analytics provides an analysis of how the students are tracking based on the grades, based on the attendance. There's multiple analytics points we use to even track student behaviors, and if they're doing well in certain subjects, if they're not doing well in certain subjects, everything shows up, all the data shows up here. Fees, list of all the fees, what's paid, what's not paid, and also there's options to export the student fees as well. Here are the activities. Basically everything about the student, any student profile updates done, any email sent, any SMS sent, you have everything kind of listed in here. So you can filter those information, and parents or no one can say that they haven't actually received that information, because everything is kind of logged and they can see the activity list up here. You can also write reviews, emails and SMSs as well, and also there's option for taking private notes here. Private notes are only visible for teachers and administrators. Class schedule for the teachers shows up here as well. Alerts, these are the alerts which has been pushed in, as well as there is custom alert you can write here. Attachments, we provide option for uploading unlimited documents, and you can have things like IEPs or individual education plans loaded up here. You can add attachments, you can add links from Google Drive or OneDrive if you're using Office 365. Yeah, so there's enables education institutions to go completely paperless. So yeah, so that's basically the student profile, how it looks. Teacher profiles, very similar to student profile, and adding students, adding teachers or instructors, updating the fields, uploading, everything is very similar. With the admin staff, I just want to show one thing in terms of permissions. So here again, I can add multiple administrative staff, just like adding students and teachers. One thing you can do with the administrative staff is you can set permissions on which modules they have access to. So here, for example, Tracy's got access to fee and donation and financial accounting. Maybe she's an accountant, so she doesn't need access to anything else. So those kind of options permissions you can provide for different administrative staff. Subject allocation is where you use the subject allocation to allocate subjects or to teachers. So I can go into different courses you are teaching or classes. I can go into the subject. So this is accounting fundamentals. I can say this is Claire. I want to add Paul as well to the as a backup teacher here as well. So this is how you manage subject allocation. Parents module, again similar to students. Parents module enables you to look at all the parents and also the students or their children information, like how many, like Debbie and Kevin Arthur has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids studying here. And there's options to link and unlink students as well, or their children as well. Now the system automatically recognizes siblings information. By primary parent email address and phone number, it automatically assigns the siblings data. So this siblings information, you can use it in the fee and donation for say sibling discounts or anything. So this is automatically done, so there's no need for manually adding kids to specific parents. So that's parent module. I'm just going to go quickly on the assessment and grading module. Our assessment and grading module is one of the most comprehensive. When I say that, what I mean is there's a lot of options and a lot of configurations. So I've just gone into assessment and grading. I'm in grade setup. There's options for creating multiple assessment categories, so it can be quizzes, projects, exams. You can provide weightages across different assessment categories. You can manage weights and provide, say quizzes is 10%, exam is 90%, and manage those things up here. You can add multiple grading periods. Make sure that this is once you add a grading period, initially you can't actually change it. Make sure that you actually understand how the setup process works. There's separate videos as well which goes into details on the assessment and grading. So in the webinar I'll just be very brief on the functionalities. So there's different grading scales. There is grades, which is your normal alphanumeric grades, where you can provide say 91 to 100, it's an A, and you can provide different color combinations up here as well, and how it kind of shows up on your transcript or report card. You can the other options are there's rubrics, which is another option of adding another grading scale. So you can have multiple rubric structures and manage that accordingly. So you can provide a criteria description, how many points as well. So if you don't need points, you can disable the points from the grade setup as well. So there's options for creating different report cards or transcripts. So here is a default template I've used. On the left hand side, there's a lot of options for you to enable, disable certain functionalities. I can disable or showing the logo. I can hide all assessments so that it can only show final score. I can display subject credits, and if I want to so there's a lot of options to kind of add. Say for example, I want to add a content block and a signature block. Say for example, adding the principal signature. There's option to add those content blocks here as well. So quite advanced in kind of managing that. Going back into the setup. So once you have finished the setup process, you're ready to add assessments. You will get a list of all the assessments up here. You can also add or the teachers can also add assessment. So they can add an assessment called, say it's a quiz, provide the name of the quiz, what's the points, what's the passing points, whether you want this to be published or unpublished. So basically, if it is published, it will show up on the student portal. If it is unpublished, it doesn't show up on the student portal. Whether it is going to count towards overall score, yes or no. There is what is the grading scale you want to use, either percentage, manual entry. There's a few other options there. If you select the grades, it will actually ask you to select which type of grade you want to add, the custom grading scales you've added. Whether this assessment is applied to all of them, all subjects of all classes and sections, whether it's going to be applied to say any specific class or section, any specific subject. You can just select those subjects or any particular class, you can or the course you're selecting. So there's other options, whether you want to disable, enable, disable online submission. There's option to have CCE or continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Some of these are some things which are used in some Southeast Asian and European schools in terms of the curriculum. So you can enable, disable those options here as well. So once you've added the assessments, you're basically ready to add the grades. So teachers can quickly go into the subject he or she is teaching, and it gives you the list of all the assessments they have set up. They can go into any of the courses, and they can start adding. So notice that I'm using my up and down arrow option here. Kind of mimics the usability of using an Excel sheet here as well. You can also export it, and also there will be option for importing from Excel sheet as well very soon. So that's basically a very high level view of the assessment and grading module. Coming to the attendance module, very simple. So there's the attendance setup process here, how you want to how you want to take the attendance, whether you want to take the attendance subject wise or session wise. If it is multiple sessions, the sessions actually shows up here. If it is, you can have present, absent, and multiple status as well. You want to create another status called medical leave, you can add that one as well here. And there's options to calculate the attendance percentages as well here. For example, say if it is medical leave, medical leave, and say I want to add this medical and this medical leave is 90% present and 10% absent, or I can say that it is 100% 0% present and it will be 100% absent. So there's options to how you calculate the absences percentage towards how it kind of relates to the overall attendance. Once you're ready set up, you can add the attendance. So I can select which class or section I want to take the attendance for. I get a list of all the students. I can mark everyone as present or everyone as absent, whatever the status you have created, and then I can click on it again and it changes the status to say Gary is absent, Rachel is late, and I can say again late by 20 minutes. And yeah, if it is if there is a comment, it shows up a comment option there. And before I submit the attendance, there's option to send absent notification. So here I can say that for the student, send to student and parent in email or an SMS for Monday attendance. And if I say submit, the parent and the teachers will actually get an email and SMS that Gary's been absent for this day. So yeah, so this is how you can manage attendance. So there's some analytics as well, so where you can select between this day and this day, who are all the teachers who have not submitted attendance. Those options you can add as well. So I can say that for this class, the students haven't actually, teachers haven't actually taken attendance for all these sessions. And you can quickly go into this and click on it and take the attendance for that as well. So that's basically the attendance module. Health record is pretty straightforward. You can go into this into the students' details or the school, and you can go into the click on the edit option here, and you can add if there's any allergies or medication she's taking or any immunization history. All these information you can add. You can also add, for example, the nurse can add a routine checkup, or if there's any incidents as well, so they can add those information here. So that's the health record. Pre-admissions module. So this is our basically the CRM module. The very first thing you do when you go into CRM module, you go into the pre-admission application forms. I can see all. I can create my own application form. I can drag and drop fields and create my application form. Once I'm ready, I can preview the application form here. There's option. So normally what customers do is they provide a link from their website to this page. So all the new applications are kind of done through here from the website. There's also option for embedding the application form in your website. There's some advanced settings where you can change, you can add payment gateways as well. So for example, if you're collecting registration fees, you can enable those options here as well. So whether you want to collect payments and everything, so all these options can be managed through here. So yeah, so once you are completed the application form, potential students will be able to view the application form. Say for example, I want to join the education institution. I provide all my details here. I can go next. and once I complete the application form, my information will show up in modules, um, modules, pre-admissions, and applications. Here is the list of all the applications. I can go into any of the applications up here, or I can search on specific applications, any applications which is anyone who has applied for, say, accounting, masters in accounting. I want to look up only those. I get a list of all that. I'm going to go into one of the application. So initially, once the application arrives, it will be in the pending status. On the left hand side, I can see all the information about the applicant. On the right hand side, I have the option to write notes. I can add attachments. In the application form itself, there's option to have students upload files as well. So if you require any, if you require students to upload passports or previous transcripts or references, you can upload those details. And also there's attachments up here, and also you can schedule meetings with the student. Any updates, anything done is kind of captured in the activity log. Once you're ready, you've seen the application, you want to accept the application, you want to offer admission. At any point of time, you can set up notifications when the status is actually changed. The student actually get notified as well. And once you're ready, you can enroll students. You can enroll student directly. There's no re-entry of data anymore. So from pre-admissions, you can enroll the student, you can put them in year one and send login details directly to students. So just a one seamless process from an initial inquiry from your website to an application to enrollment, completely paperless, and in one click you can directly enroll it, and the information goes into the data goes into the student information system. So that's how our CRM or the pre-admissions management works. Coming to the LMS section, which is as well one of the quite comprehensive modules. Because I'm an administrator, I can see a list of all courses. If I'm a student or a teacher, I can only see the subjects which I'm enrolled in. On the left, so say for example, I want to go into one of the courses I've enrolled in. Here is our LMS module. We wanted to make it really simple and user-friendly. When you compare it to other learning management platforms where there's layers and layers of navigation, we want it to be very simple navigation, and all the information are there. So on the left-hand side is the list of the curriculum. So the teachers can add different sections and create their curriculum or the lesson plan from here. You can also upload lesson plans as well up here. It's not just uploading the plain lesson plans, but that can actually be quite interactive. So here, for example, I've added session 1. Say this is a week 1 lecture, and I can add videos, audios, PowerPoint, documents, PowerPoint presentation, text or HTML. We are also SCORM compliant as well. So if you want to upload any SCORM content from other LMSs, you can do that here as well. Here are a few content I've uploaded previously. So if I click on any of those content, it opens up what we call an immersive lecture experience, where I can see the video so this I just clicked on the video and it loads the video within the browser. I can the next one is an audio file, and again it loads within the browser again. This is a document, a PowerPoint document, and again it's notice that it is loading within the browser. It's not loading any of the applications from from your local computer. Again, this is a PowerPoint presentation, loads within. I uploaded a PowerPoint or a PPT file, and it loads within the world. Kind of provides a really seamless experience for the students. Here is a few more options where we support LTI as well, and also integration with external applications. So this is a quiz which is from an external platform loading within Classe365 through LTI or an API call, and those information can be loaded up here. This is, we also have integration with YouTube Live or, Hangout on Air, and also Skype for Business, and Skype Translate as well. So to drive live lectures. So this is a live lecture which is coming from NASA. So if I play on it, it loads the live stream. The live stream is not available, but when it becomes available, you can load live streams. But not only that, you can drive Zoom meetings. We have integration with Zoom and a few other platforms for driving live lectures as well. So basically, that's how you can you can enable your students to consume content online. On the right hand side is options for teachers or instructors to send notifications to all the students or selected students. And you can notify them by email as well, and students can reply back. They can like, it's just like a social any social network like Facebook, where you can like and you can comment back, and collaborate with other students and as well as teachers. You can get a list of all the assessments here, list of all the quizzes, resources. You can have resources uploaded. This is addition to the resources which is specific to the curriculum, but if there's generic resources you want to upload, you can upload it up here, and also the list of all the students get displayed here as well. So yeah, so that's how our LMS actually works. Quite comprehensive, but at the same time, we try to make it from a usability perspective very simple for administrators, teachers, and students. So a few other things. Social discussions. Social discussions are like your own social network, private social network for your education institution. Similar to the discussions I showed, so where there are channels, you can create channels. There are channels which are automatically created for every subject, where students can collaborate with the teacher and other students as well. Those channels are automatically created once you create a subject. There are general discussions as well, where you can have general discussions across all student community. So emails and SMS, vary from a communications. So we've just completed all the modules on the academic side. So these are the learning and communications modules I'll go through. So you can send emails and SMSs. So here is an option where you can send emails to all students, selected students, or students who belong to certain courses, and all students will be sent. So that's how you can send emails. Similar to that, you can send SMSs as well. Events. So we have two things under events. One is managing events and managing class schedules. Managing events is basically creating events in at any point of time in a calendar year, where you can add title, description, start date, end date, who is it visible to. You can do all those things. You can also sync your Google Calendar as well. So you can sync all your Google Calendar, and there's a lot of options for after sync how you want to manage those events that can be done here. So this is how you can manage events, and we also have class schedules as well. Class schedules, you can create multiple class schedules, where you go into add schedule and you can create multiple class schedules. And once you have created the schedule, you can go into the calendar icon here, and you can see all your schedules. you can add these schedules. You can you can click on it. You can update the schedules. You can drag and drop the schedule to multiple days as well. Yeah, so forth. So there's also options where if I want to schedule this one for the same time, for the same date, so there is validation set so that you can't assign the same subject for the same teacher for the same time for two different schedules. So it does those validations for you as well, and you can always disable that validations if you don't need it. So here is where I can add the schedule. Say it's Masters of Accounting Semester 1. Who are the teachers, date, time, description, and I can add the schedule. Provide a different color if you want, and provide this schedule. So this is how you manage the events and schedule. Notices are sticky sticky news or events you want to upload and make it available on the dashboard. So here you basically created a schedule. You can add a new notice and publish this one to the entire students or teachers, and you can notify them by email as well. And these schedules, these notices, once you publish it, it also goes in as a push notification on our mobile app as well. So yeah, so that's how the notices work. Here are the activities which I showed you as part of the student activities. This is like a one consolidated place. You can see all the student activities of individual students. Now we've completed learning and communication. We'll come to the administration side. The administration modules include fee and donation. Let me go through that first. Fee and donation enables you to create fees for your students, and students can pay online, or you can add the payments manually as well. So I'm in fee and donation. The very first thing I do is going to add fee. This is the first thing you do. You can add a fee. Notice that this is adding a template. You're creating a fee category, or think of it as a template. You can have multiple templates similar to this. You can add a fee name, fee type, invoice date, due date, descriptions. You can add multiple line items as well if there's any tax component, any discounts you want to add. Note that this is just creating an invoice template. You're not adding an invoice unless you add students to it, add who you want to invoice it to. So you want to invoice all the students who are in, say, in all the students who are in masters in accounting, or you want to add all the students who have only taken up say fundamentals in accounting subject. So say for example you only charge based on the subjects they've enrolled in or the credits they're enrolled in. You can do that as well. Or you want to enroll, you want to invoice only specific students, and you can do that as well, or multiple students. So this is how you kind of add invoices, and once you added the invoice category, so this is a category, that shows up in the list, and you can go into the options here called view invoices, and you can view all the invoices up here. You've created. You can see what's paid, what's not paid. You can go into individual invoice here and see the invoice information. You can add payments directly from the invoice. So this is a manual payment option. You can say that this is a manual payment, and it's the student actually gave a check. You can write in the check number, paid on date, and paid by student or parent, and you can send a notification as well. So there's also option where you can use virtual terminals. We have various payment gateway integrations. If they support virtual terminals, you can use that to take credit card payments. Say if the students come in to the administrative office and they want to pay online, so you can use a virtual terminal to take credit card payments as well. So that's how you can add payments. I'm just going to go back into manage students and list of and there's a few other options where you can see all the invoices here which is generated. You can search on invoice date, like what are all the invoices which is unpaid. I can search on them, and I can send payment reminders to them as well, either through emails or SMS. I can select all of them or individual, and I can send payment reminders for them as well. Yeah, so, and even payment transactions, so any kind of payment transactions happening, any payments that's been done, that shows up here in the payment transaction section. So that's pretty much our fee and donation module. Enables you to manage everything about on managing fees. Financial accounting module enables you to create this is basically your own accounting platform, where you can have your accounting done here. I can first, initially, while I'm doing it, I just have to provide all my details before I submit. Once I've created my account, so I can view those account here. I can open the account, and I'll be able to manage all my accounts. Any fees or invoices that created, it automatically links in the fee and donation module if you're subscribed for this module. I can look upon all my accounts. All my incomes will be coming under the incomes, whether it is direct incomes. You can assign how the invoices need to be tied into these accounts. Entries is where you can add different ledger groups or groups. This is where you can enter your receipt payments and contra entry and journal entries. And once you start populating all the information, your balance sheet, profit and loss statement, and these reports automatically start populating as well. So you get a pretty good understanding of how you are going in terms of your financials of the education institution. So really kind of makes it easy. I should probably add that this financial accounting module is mainly used by small education institutions. We do have integration with third-party accounting platforms like Sage, OCPAC, SAP, QuickBooks Zero, MyOb. So there's a few other options where we have integration with. Library module enables you to upload all your library books and manage the check-in, check-out process. So you can add a book up here, or there's option to add just the ISBN number, and the system automatically looks up through online, and it automatically adds all the book information here as well. Once you added the book, the list of all the books shows up here, and you can go into option where you can check in, check out the books. So say I can say that student Rachel has come in, she has borrowed the book, and I can check out the book, and that information shows up on the student profile as well, so that they have borrowed the book. So you can manage it that way. So that's the library module. Library module is also used as a resources module as well, so you can change the terminologies. We have some institutions which are managing the lab equipments. If there some we have a performance arts center where they're renting instruments. Instead of books, they add the instruments as the inventory. So so graduation module is used once while you are closing an academic year. Use this module to advance students to higher grades, or even or higher grades, or graduating, basically pushing them to alumni. We also have an e-commerce module. So e-commerce module enables you to create your own online store, and you can use those. Use the online store, another monetization option where students and parents can purchase merchandise, textbooks, whatever you want to sell online. you have an option to do that as well. So where you can create your own online store. You have a front-end store as well. This doesn't have much information, but you can go into the actual product. You can purchase those products here. All students and teachers can purchase, students and parents can purchase them, and you can manage all the delivery and orders and everything up here. So a complete online store for education institution. Finally, I just want to spend some time on the reports. So we have a complete reporting module where every module has got a lot of reports. Say, for example, the attendance module has got some statistics and also some graphical statistics as well as some reports. We have reports created of everything what we have thought of, but there's always going to be some specific reports that may be specific to some education institution. So you can always request those through our support team as well. So that basically concludes all the modules which I wanted to discuss, and just a few more minutes I want to spend to discuss the settings section. If I go into the settings of the applications, we have various options to integrate external applications. So here is where you can add integrate with Google Apps, Canvas, and a few other options here as well. We have options to add payment gateways. We have integration with multiple payment gateways. You can add those payment gateways here, enable those payment gateways here for students to pay their fees online. We have multilingual support as well here. So we have option where there's two options where you have Google Translate or core translation. Google Translate, which it basically enables you to have the Google Translate option, which is sometimes not that accurate, but we do have a core translation option as well, where we have enabled have language specialists who have helped to build the translation, and you can enable translation for users to select as well. So for example, if your institution is bilingual and you have, as an example, French and Spanish, both students, certain students can choose to look at the platform in French, and certain students can choose to look up the platform in Spanish. So there's options for that as well. So yeah, so we also have white label option. White label enables you to have custom URLs set up. As I mentioned, custom URL is URL masking, where you can have portal.yourdomain.com, and there's options where you can hide Classe365 branding. So this is an add-on module where you can take this option. So so there's other options which are quite self-explanatory. That pretty much concludes what I wanted to show on the student portal. I'm just going to log out and show you quickly on how the student portal looks and the teacher portal looks as well, or maybe the student portal. Once I log into the student portal, the UI is very similar to the administrator. I can see pretty much all the information about what the courses I've enrolled in, all the information on any notifications, any notices or anything that's been sent by the administration team, my class schedules, and also I can view the similar thing on my mobile app as well. So so again, all the modules are up here. So if you want to disable certain modules like health records, if you're in higher education or in any academy, you can always disable those options as well from the administrative account. And my payments, all my invoices shows up here. I can export my invoices as a statement. So that's how the student portal looks, and it's exactly similar how the parent portal looks as well, and also the teacher portal. So this is pretty much what I wanted to show you in terms of the webinar. yeah, please, if there's anything you want to know more, please reach out to us. One thing I did want to mention was how you can reach the support team while you are logged in. You might probably have a lot of questions around different modules, the functionalities. We have 24/7 support through our in-app support option. So on the bottom right-hand corner, you will have a speech bubble. Just click on that, and you will have access to pretty much all our support team here. You can reach out to any of our support team. You will be able to see whether they're live or away. If they're not able to reply, they will be replying within a couple of hours. Our response time is pretty much within a few hours. Yeah, so that's how you can reach out to all our support team here as well. So yes, that pretty much concludes the webinar. I hope you enjoyed. We took probably about an hour. So this webinar will also be published as a recorded webinar as well. So you can share the webinar with your colleagues. If they have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us on support@classe365 or through our website as well. Thank you so much for joining the webinar. We hope to see you as a registered client and support your education institution. Thank you.